Hakuna Matata.
Let's do this. Hello everybody.
Hello.
Welcome to a new episode of our vloggy thingy. This is a special episode again.
Special edition, deluxe.
Exactly. The thing you need to know is that we have recorded this a little bit prior to
The actual New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
So there are a couple of films that we won't be able to include in today's special, which is... Today's special is about our opinion of our best films of 2013.
Yes, the highlights for 2013 and some stuff that we're looking forward to 2014. So, we have each thought of like a little list to think, and we have some films that we have in common. Should we start with this one?
Yeah.
Yes. One of our highlights for this year was...
Django!
Django Unchained.
Yes, which, like, according to the majority of film critics, has been one of the best films of the year. So, the latest Tarantino film that allowed Tarantino to actually do direct a film from his favorite genre, which is Western films, and actually he said that his next film is going to be a Western as well, because since everything went so well with Django, he wants to do another one.
Really? No.
Yes, apparently, yeah. Django Unchained, which also won Christoph Waltz the Oscar for Best Supporting Actor, and show us a new, very, very interesting side of Leonardo DiCaprio.
Which made me stop.
A lot, because again, as he said, we had the attention about him, but now he has our curiosity. Unchained. You had my curiosity, but now you're sorry.
So he had our curiosity.
But now he has our attention.
The first time I saw it, it kind of blew my mind. I also like Jamie Foxx as main
Yes,
character.
absolutely. A very interesting plot line, amazing direction, as Tarantino has, you know, it's Tarantino, so you expect to see this kind of amazing plot, because he writes the script as well and then directs it perfectly.
Interesting soundtrack.
Very interesting soundtrack. Again, as always, with Tarantino behind the movie, the soundtrack is bound to be very interesting as well.
Although apparently Ennio Morricone, which contributed like a couple of pieces, I think, he didn't like the final result. He said that something like the music was a bit too all over the place. It wasn't very coherent.
Well, it's kind of a Tarantino thing, especially if you think how involved he is in the entire process of not scoring the film, but deciding which songs he wants to be played, and most of the time it's popular songs. I mean, if you think from different films, I mean, you see, I don't know, David Bowie and then Nancy Sinatra and Madonna, and so it is supposed to be that way, but just, I mean, if
that's
it
what
works,
makes it a Tarantino.
yeah, exactly. And in my opinion, it works perfectly, and it's the perfect example of having music that it's not always what you expect. I mean, he rarely has those big instrumental parts that you see in other epic films, but it still works pretty damn well, and it kind of makes him different from all the other filmmakers, so...
Yeah, so well done, Tarantino.
Yeah, well done, Quentin. Quentin.
Right. Moving along to, maybe,
Yeah.
we might disagree on some points on this one, but still. This year's Baz Luhrmann's Great Gatsby.
Gatsby.
What Gatsby? Yes, that was a personal highlight for me in the summer. I really loved the movie. The background for this movie for me was interesting because I had no idea. I knew of The Great Gatsby, but I didn't know the actual story. I never seen any other film about it. I didn't read the book. So when I saw this film, it was also my first interaction with the story as well. So I was like, oh my god, blown away. But Baz Luhrmann's touch on it was, at first I thought it was, okay, where is this going? But by the second viewing I was loving it. So one of my favorite films for this year.
Yeah, I do have it in my list as well. I cannot say it has been my favorite film, one of my favorite films of the year, or exactly what I expected, because I had read the book, and it is, I mean, one of the best books of the 20th century from one of the most important writers from the 20th century. It's a very important book, and the fact that it would be made by Baz Luhrmann really, I was really curious, and I was looking forward. I remember the trailer came out around October or November, and to wait from October to May until the movie came out, seriously, I don't know how I didn't die. The trailer was so good, with this amazing kind of music to build up and build up and build up, and you see those amazing actors and those amazing scenes. It really made you look forward to it. But when I saw it, I enjoyed the film. Obviously, I even bought the DVD. But I expected something different, mainly because, to go back to the music subject, I would say Baz Luhrmann is again like Tarantino. I mean, if you check the soundtracks of the movies he's made, mainly Moulin Rouge and Great Gatsby, he has been part of the production of the soundtrack. So it shows how much influence he has in the musical outcome of the film. So in this case of Great Gatsby, he tried to do something that he did in Moulin Rouge as well, which is try to incorporate popular songs in the film, which in Moulin Rouge worked more than perfectly. I mean, he made a musical for everyone, and not just for the musical fans. He did they did amazing covers of popular songs that, I know it's weird to listen to, I don't know, Smells Like Teen Spirit in the 1900s Paris. It doesn't make any sense, but it works perfectly, and he created one-of-a-kind film. It's brilliant. Here he tried to do it again, and there are some songs that work perfectly, like Crazy in Love. This cover, I'm talking about the covers first of all.
Oh yeah, Crazy in Love.
Which works amazingly.
By Emily Sunday.
Yes,
really
and
good.
there were other songs like Young and Beautiful or Over the Love by Florence and the Machine that were really amazing. Love is Blindness. They worked so beautifully, and again, I have the score, I listen to them all the time, is lovely. On the other hand, he tried to incorporate dubstep and R&B and this kind of heavily electro music that, okay, when you go to see Great Gatsby, you are going to see something related to the jazz era, and when you go to Great Gatsby's parties and you hear dubstep, it really, for me, really worked really bad, and it was the main thing that the critics found wrong as well.
It's interesting because for this film there were released 3 soundtrack albums as far as I'm aware. The first one is the official soundtrack album with like the main songs from the film, which includes the Lana Del Rey song, the Jay-Z songs, and all that. The second one is the actual score by Craig Armstrong, which is really good, by the way. I like it, especially the Daisy theme. So good. And the third one is an album with basically that kind of music that you were expecting. That kind of like jazzy, yellow cocktail or something like that music, which was like also like either original songs or covers, like Crazy in Love, or even themes from the score, like Daisy's theme. They did a version of that one as well, which is interesting because it's like they took from 3 different sources and made one album. However, in the film, although Micha didn't like that, and at first that's what kind of put me off as well, then I kind of took it as Baz Luhrmann trying to basically present the spirit from that era, but updated to our kind of knowledge and atmosphere. Because nowadays, when you think of a party, you don't really think of this quite good. No, you're thinking of dance, maybe that kind of that. So that's probably what he was trying to do, to evoke not necessarily this the atmosphere, but more the spirit.
Yes, he probably tried to do something like that, mainly because there have also been at least 2 more versions of The Great Gatsby for the big screen, so obviously he wanted to go for something new and different. So there's one reason. Second, as I said before, I really think he was trying to do something like he did with Moulin Rouge. And thirdly, although again, as I mentioned before, most of the critics really said very bad things about the music and the way he used the music in the film because it was completely unexpected. The only explanation I found good enough was the one given by the singer from Florence and the Machine, where she said that back then jazz was really something groundbreaking and new for the elite society of New York, because jazz and blues pre-existed obviously, but it was the music of the slaves in America, and gradually it became the music of the elite. So at that point it was not shocking, but it was new and interesting and everything. But in a film today, to watch jazz, it would be really predictable, and that's what you would expect, as we did expect. So they tried to reverse that and bring in dubstep and dance so that they would create the same effect on us that probably jazz created back then. So it's something new, unexpected, blah, blah. That's what she said. So it's quite a good explanation, I guess. Yeah. It doesn't make up for what I think about the music from the film, but it's still a good argument. Yeah. I just believe we should definitely mention the actors in Great Gatsby, because even if maybe Baz Luhrmann did many things wrong, I guess, I don't know.
The actors did do a great job.
Yes. Yeah, it's brilliant. Like, seriously, everyone, mainly, again, with Leonardo DiCaprio, who there is there are many rumors that he's about to be nominated for an Oscar for his Great Gatsby, which is interesting, and dear God, let him get the Oscar at last.
Yeah, I mean, if he would get the Oscar for Gatsby, I don't think I'm the only one that thinks that he would not really be getting the Oscar just for Gatsby.
Yeah,
He'd be getting an Oscar because he
like
does deserve an Oscar.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah. But besides him, who was excellent, again, a new side of him that, I love him when he's with Scorsese, but the same thing comes up all the time. He's been doing many films with Scorsese, and they're all amazing, and he's brilliant, and Scorsese is brilliant, but we don't see new sides of him when he's directed by the same person. While he was directed by Tarantino, he was directed by Baz Luhrmann, so new things come up that are really interesting. It's always interesting to see that the actors that we know and love have other sides that we haven't seen, so amazing job from him. Excellent Carey Mulligan, Tobey Maguire, and
as you already know, Tobey Maguire was probably my least favorite part of the film.
But still, and obviously when you have to compete with DiCaprio.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, he did have to live up to quite high expectations, but
and even the secondary characters like Daisy's husband or her
good.
best friend, they were all really, really great.
I just noticed. Did you know that Daisy's husband also appears in Star
Wars?
In episodes 2 and 3.
Yes, and we're like really mind blown too.
Yeah, I didn't believe it at first because without the mustache, I'm used to it like that mustache now.
And he was blonde and kind of chubbier, like so it was really fun to
It was so real.
So if you take away like the music thing and the CGI that for some were too much, for others, if you know Baz Luhrmann's work, it kind of makes sense. Still kind of a highlight, would say.
Yes. The next one, for me anyway, was La Migliore Offerta, for which we already did a review.
If you haven't seen it, go check it.
Yes, I'm not going to bother you with that one now. Another one, which we haven't talked about, is Now You See Me, which was, I think, it was quite an unexpected success for many.
Yeah.
It was one of those, I think, sleeper hits, it didn't come out with much boom, it wasn't like, oh my gosh, Now You See Me is coming out.
Yeah, and it came during the summer, which is not always a good period to bring out films.
Yeah, but it did do very well, not only commercially, but also critically, which recently we found out they're working on a sequel.
Yeah.
Will be interesting.
Yeah, true.
First of all, starting from the cast, which is ridiculous. I mean, seriously, it's definitely an ensemble cast.
Yeah, it's Morgan Freeman and Michael Caine.
Mark Ruffalo.
Mark.
Yeah, the Facebook guy. What's his name? Eisenberg, Jesse Eisenberg. The other Franco brother.
It's like the other Berlin girl, the other Franco guy.
Yes, so the Franco brother, the chick that played in Shopaholic. That's the only thing I know.
And Haymitch.
And Gatsby. And Gatsby. She played in Gatsby as well, the girl.
Ah.
Yeah, she was the whore.
Ah, yes.
So here the connection.
Right.
Now we have
everything is
connection.
connected. We're so good.
Although from Hollywood, it's like, really? Anyway. And Haymitch. Which, for those that you don't know, Shane, first of all. And
Obviously.
Of all,
so, yes, and also Haymitch, who is playing... No.
Wrong way around.
Sorry. And the guy that played Haymitch in Hunger Games,
yeah.
whose name is...
Woody Harrelson.
Thank God.
Although it's weird, because he has done so much good shit in the past, but for us now, he's just Haymitch. Which is, it's still good, you know, being...
Absolutely, obviously. Jesus, yeah.
Anyway.
Oh.
So, what were we talking about? What I loved about this film, first of all, that it's probably the first action film that I was actually interested in. I was actually like, whoa, what's gonna happen? Because usually action films are, oh no, he's gonna die. Oh, and actually hits wife, and he fucked the dog. It's like, just like so predictable. But this one was not as predictable.
It's truly amazing. Exactly, not as predictable. Some amazing plot twists, which the whole, everything in the film, like, really makes me look forward to the sequel, because again, as you said, it's an amazing action film. The purely action scenes inside are amazing and so original. Oh god, they're amazing. It has a little bit of magic in it that makes it more mysterious.
Kind of like philosophical questions.
Yes, as well. So it's actually a very, very good film. And I really wanted to get more kind of advertisement and promotion, at least for the second one.
Yeah, but the thing is that also makes me interested is the fact that this is the directorial debut of the guy who directed it. So that's like,
kudos.
Wow, I'm really looking forward to your career.
Yeah.
And also the fact that the music that Brian Tyler did, I think, finally a new action film with a memorable theme. It's been so long. Even the freaking Avengers or something, they don't really have a memorable theme, but this one actually has one, a good one.
Which Hunger Games. I know you don't like to admit it, but it does.
It's an old feud we have, but yes, let's say it does.
We are 2 against 1, and you're really rude when you don't kind of say that. Okay, guys, you're right. Let's move on. I give you that.
It's basically the same score.
I didn't say that.
No, I'm kidding.
No, I'm living.
Oh no.
That's it.
I was kidding, obviously. No, you're right.
New Year's Eve.
Yes.
Not gonna get pissed.
Get happy, happy face.
Happy day, Mom.
Yes. So now you see me. Good film. Check it out if you haven't.
Yes, absolutely.
Next one on my list is Gravity.
Gravity.
Again,
we've made an exclusive video only for Gravity. If you haven't checked it, please do. And a lot of interesting things we say there as always.
And I'm probably from my list. This is from my point of view for this year's the film that's most groundbreaking.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that should say enough.
maybe it is the best film of the year.
Probably, yeah.
Probably.
We'll see for the Oscars to see if they agree with us.
Yeah, again, it was the first film to be announced that actually did get nominations for Oscars. We'll see how it goes and which ones it takes. But I'm
good luck.
Hoping for at least visuals and sounds. I mean, Jesus Christ, it was excellent. Excellent. I mean, there's nothing more to say there. There was nothing wrong with, at least in this department. It's an amazing film, action-packed, but always human-focused. Really brilliant. Again, if you haven't checked it, go ahead and do that and check our video as well.
Yeah. The next one for me, it was Silver Linings Playbook.
Doom, 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 doom. This goes on.
Yes.
Thank God.
We also did a video for this one. Check it out.
Is that all? Oh, come on! Jen won an Oscar for it!
Jen. Yes.
Yes?
And I?
Yes!
We have a special guest.
We're doing the video. You cannot just quit Silver Linings like that, and you are the one who loves the film, I'm not the one, but Jen won the Oscar for it!
Bravo, Jen.
I know, since we, like, kind of devoted you our second video, you keep, like, checking back and watching us because, you know, we're your biggest fans and stuff. So, hey Jen, I'm really looking forward to your second nomination, which might be this year for Best Supporting Actress in American Hustle. Yeah. So,
American asshole.
Hustle, Jesus Christ! You always make me look like the bad one.
No, but seriously, can you imagine a film, American Asshole? That's probably a porn.
Going back to the actual film, yes, imagine, I really have to say that. Okay, if Jennifer Lawrence actually gets the nomination for Best Supporting Actress for American Hustle and Kate Blanchett gets the nomination for Best Actress for Blue Jasmine and they both win.
Her head will explode.
Yes, it will.
Live.
On camera, just for you!
Exactly.
Yeah, so that's what I wanted to say. I hope the Oscar Academy is watching this because if this won't happen, let's just say...
I'm watching you. Oh God.
You know. Okay.
And splatter all around!
Tarantino
Which is like Django.
inspired movie. We're just gonna add a lot of bread afterwards.
Bread.
Red.
Ah.
Why would I add bread? Panem today.
Panem tomorrow,
Tomorrow.
Panem forever. Or
Yes.
not, maybe.
Ah.
Just say. There is just a couple of more films that I cannot say that blew my mind, but for different reasons I would like them to be mentioned in our video. Film adaptation for the musical Les Miserables. Which was a big hit this year and also won the Best Supporting Actress award for Anne Hathaway.
Seriously, now that was like 15 minutes on screen well spent.
So it's like, yeah, I'm just gonna spend 15 minutes in your 3-hour film and I'm gonna get an Oscar. And she did!
Honestly, I was expecting Hugh Jackman. I don't remember if he was nominated, but I was expecting at least
I believe
nomination.
He
Because
he did get a
he
nomination.
did. Well, he should, because the work he did in that, I think it is really great.
Yeah,
I
and
mean, and he sung everything from a production point of view. This film is wow.
exactly. I mean, again, this goes under the same category as Great Gatsby. Watching the trailer over and over again, waiting for the film to come out, it was really a huge production. Again, in this case, this is a musical for the musical lovers only. I mean, it is a very long film that has minimum dialogue, so people who don't like musicals will not really enjoy this film, but...
It does have quite a few good songs.
Absolutely, yes, obviously. I mean, it's been played in London for 25 years now, the actual musical.
Just that.
So. But it has, from a production point of view, it has also very interesting points. I mean, first of all, it was a very expensive production. It was directed by the guy who directed King's Speech. And you can see that he has many interesting characteristics and stuff. I mean, first of all, the use of the extreme close-ups that he did, which were really remarkable in the film.
But also had other uses, because this is the first musical film that's actually live. Usually musicals like Moulin Rouge, Mamma Mia or something, they were all the songs were recorded before. But this is actually the first musical that everything was live. And for us that were kind of in that studying to be in that branch is amazing, because first of all they had like an earpiece in the ear, and where the accompanist at the piano was basically accompanying them so they can stay in key at least. And they had all the liberty to perform and do whatever the fuck they wanted.
So
that's probably what made it good.
It was all about the actor. So you have seriously the actor being the conductor, if you want, because he could slow up or slow down or go faster wherever he wanted, act something, just talk some lyrics or sing other lyrics. He could do whatever he wanted, and all that accompanied just by the piano that he could only hear. And then the piano was they took out the piano and replaced it with the entire orchestra, and that's how we have the outcome of the film.
That must have been quite a pain in the ass to record the orchestra based on the recording vocals.
Absolutely, yeah, but still, it's truly groundbreaking, and at least even just for that, this is enough to make it a very good film for the year.
Yeah, but this brings up issues like, you know, they had to have microphones at all times on them, and they had to be recorded without actually getting noises like clothes or stuff. And as far as I know, for instance, the famous "I Dreamed a Dream" scene. That's why it's not. That's another reason why it's recorded just like that, just her face, because the microphone is actually standing right next to her.
Yeah, but it's really interesting. Also, the "I Dreamt a Dream" scene. They did many takes, and the one we actually saw was the first take that Anne Hathaway really didn't like, but that's the one that the director kept. Yeah, that's the one that the director kept. But in general, the close-up, kind of the extreme close-up technique used here, although it's not new, absolutely not, it truly worked amazing, especially in this film, that if you go to see it in the IMAX, you have this very emotional scenes that you can just watch the face of the character singing the song, and you cannot get out of it. You're just there with them, and it's very emotional. It really makes you want to cry and all that. So yes, brilliant production, lots of money, well spent, and it looks amazing. Although some problems with the CGI, but we won't go into that now.
The next film on Micha's list is Blue Jasmine, for which we already talked about, but it's still good to mention because it is one of those films that you need to mention.
Yeah,
at least.
For more info, go check our video. It's just, although, as you'll see if you check the video, it wasn't, I didn't appreciate the film itself that much, although it has been a sort of a comeback of Woody Allen, who kind of left Europe, went back to New York, to USA anyway, and back to the country that made him who he is. Mainly I wanted to mention this film for the acting, and mainly for Cate Blanchett.
Well, yeah, for me as well, Cate Blanchett is the one that does this film what it is.
I believe...
It's the only reason.
No, absolutely, and I believe from all the films we've mentioned so far and we'll mention in this video, although all of them have remarkable acting, she is the one that I can 100% say that in every single second of the film was absolutely perfect. There is nothing you could change. Seriously, nothing. To just, if you had the chance to be on the set and say, Kate, darling, just try, like, bring it down a bit, or I want this more emotional. You don't do that. I mean, it's perfect, and you don't mess up with the masterpiece that she is. I don't know, I have the feeling that even if you find the outtakes of the film, or like the scenes they didn't use for the final cut, they will still be amazing.
It's probably, yeah.
So only for that, I believe this deserves to be in our list. It's just, Kate, my love, the Oscar is coming your way.
Let's see what else. Ooh, I just thought about another highlight for me anyway. Saving Mr. Banks. So yes, Saving Mr. Banks is a great film. It's, if you didn't know, it's based basically on the production of the Mary Poppins film, the famous film, and it shows first of all Walt Disney being played by Tom Hanks, which is always interesting, and Emma Thompson being awesome, really,
and rude.
Yes,
how
but
rude.
How rude. Another. We'll get to that. So yeah, Saving Mr. Banks, great music first of all. Also love Colin Farrell.
Yeah, yep.
Really liked him in this, and as I said, he's probably slowly getting to be one of my favorite male actors, contemporary male actors. Right?
It's a brilliant film, really, truly emotional, and actually has to do with a lot of, it kind of talks about a lot of different things. So you have the main story, which is the making of Mary Poppins, and it's famous by now that the author of Mary Poppins was really let down by the final outcome of the Disney production of her book. And as you told me, they made this film, Saving Mr. Banks, as an apology to her family.
Apparently. And it's also interesting, I think, it's the first drama film released under the Disney sigil or something. Because Disney, as we know, it has like a lot of other smaller companies that they release like other stuff, you know. But this they actually chose to release this one under Disney, which is nice.
Yeah, it's really beautiful. It has this story that is a true story, but at the same time, it has many things, as in dealing with your past and let go, and to what extent your past makes you who you are.
Yeah.
Many emotional scenes supported by very good acting. So. Truly beautiful. I think you can still catch that on the cinema. So
yes, it's really nice.
Lovely.
Just so you know, the movies that are highlights for us for this year are not necessarily released this year. For instance, another highlight for both of us was probably Gone with the Wind. Let's just say it wasn't really released.
Not really. Not even, you know, it's more than 50 years ago. But
yeah, but you know, that's really what that doesn't really matter in this context. So, just so you know, we're not necessarily sticking to 2013 release date.
Yeah, but we saw it during 2013. We saw it on the big screen. So
yes, so that's why it was a big thing.
Yeah.
Another highlight probably for both of us was the Star Wars series. Seeing it again, first of all, with different eyes, really, because the last time I saw them, I was smaller, much smaller, and it was really interesting to see them again now. You know, from acting, overall story, production point of view, which I thought was really nice. But maybe you have some words to add on that?
First of all, I have to admit that it's weird to mention Star Wars in the 2013.
Yeah, we just mentioned Gone with the Wind. It's fine.
I know, right? No, seriously, now I can say I understand why it is so big. I really, truly enjoyed it and loved it, and
Darth Vader rules.
Always. I'm really so unsure about the future of the film without Darth Vader there, but maybe someone can.
Yes, but but that makes us be really well. That makes us really look forward to the future of the series.
Oh, you cannot even imagine.
Especially now that it was also acquired by Disney, which, from my point of view, what Disney had acquired recently, like Marvel or stuff, the things they did with these were really good. So I hope they won't let us down.
Let's see.
Yeah, obviously, probably the last and one of the biggest highlights for us this year was
The Hunger Games.
Catching Fire. Whoa.
This is the closest to Catching Fire we can do. I'm really sorry. That's seriously.
We already did a video about this one.
Yeah.
Yes, but yes.
We've seen it 3 times and counting. We've seen it 3 times.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. We're not gonna go through it again because it will be a bit. But,
it will take forever again.
Yes, but we really enjoyed this.
And oh my God, up above, if you haven't seen it, why you haven't seen it?
Shame.
Go and stay in a cinema for a week just watching the film. I mean, since I've told you, we've seen it 3 times, and now every time we go to the cinema and we pass by the screen that they show Hunger Games, and we're like, should we just
maybe?
Yeah.
Just
skip any other film and just go there.
No, but it was really great. And this brings us to our next part of the video, which will probably be much shorter. But it's our basically our what we're looking forward for 2014.